Disclaimer, the following essay is going to discuss a movie that features a lot of offensive and mature content. If you don't want to hear it, I suggest clicking away from the video now.
What initially attracted you to a very unique project like Cuck?
I think it's got to be the weight behind it, the fact that this stuff's happening all the time, and that these guys are brave enough to put that on the page and to make a movie about it. So that's what attracted me to it, the courage of its ugliness and its truths.
Cuck 2019 is possibly the worst politically charged movie I've ever watched. It fails at almost every level. Just reading the description of the film and title alone, I thought I had some idea of what I was getting into, but Cuck somehow managed to undershoot my already depressingly low expectations. When making a political movie, it's important that you should take several things into account. You should be well educated on your subject matter, you should have a clear message that you want to convey to your audience, and most importantly, you should treat the issue which you want to tackle with respect. Cuck does none of those things. Let's start with our main character, whose name I had to look up to write this script. Ronnie is a loser. He's firmly into his 20s, unemployed, lives with his mom, and does nothing but jerk off and watch conservative commentary videos and post on fake Reddit. Throughout the whole movie, Ronnie is never shown to have any positive traits. He's sexist.
You don't have to be a fucking bitch.
Racist.
And just know the difference between a black person and an
abusive, regularly shouts slurs at people, and just generally is not a pleasant person to be around. Should be clear this is our villain, right? So who is the character we're meant to root for? Well, this movie doesn't really have one. It's not the mother, who is shown to be just as racist as her son. It's not the liberals protesting the Trump rally or commenting on the account "fuck white people." It's definitely not the Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk, Alex Jones, Richard Spencer guy who makes white supremacist videos and acts as Ronnie's idol. Any conservative person watching this film would immediately view Ronnie as a straw man. He's a hyper-caricature of the basement-dwelling alt-right young male with a gun fetish and American flags around his bedroom. He makes his videos shirtless in his bedroom, talking about how women are inferior and how Muslims are taking over the country.
Just because you got an upgrade from goat fucker Syria, that don't mean that you can come here and try and take away the freedom that we made for ourselves, for this country. You try to come over, take it away from me, not on my fucking watch.
He's clearly presented to be racist at multiple points in the movie, and most importantly, there's a whole aspect of this movie I haven't even talked about yet that cements the fact that no incel or conservative would like this movie. Ronnie is a cuck. Literally. He's a cuck and appears in cuckold porn. Seriously, more than half the time in this movie seems like it's devoted to some weird softcore porn. I can't show most of these clips here because they're incredibly gratuitous, but take my word for it. A major plot point in this movie is that the alt-right white supremacist incel main character gets paid to watch his MILF friend have sex with multiple men. Worse yet, this plot point literally culminates in Ronnie getting cummed on the face.
It was a shock, I know. Ronnie! Look at me. You and me. We're a team, right? You understand? We gotta have each other's backs.
Yeah, but I didn't sign up for that.
But you're great at what you do.
If that wasn't bad enough, the movie ends with Ronnie killing at least 3 people, shooting at multiple others, and injuring yet another before he fires at the police and gets killed.
Who's a cuck now?
All for the reveal that his military father committed suicide, implying that this is the crux of why Ronnie has become radicalized. So it's clear why no conservative person would like this movie, but what about someone who is more left-leaning? Well, I consider myself to be very far left, and I still hated this movie. This movie somehow manages to have no clear message to it at all. What am I supposed to take away from this? Ronnie doesn't change from beginning to end. He starts off a bad person and ends a bad person. The only real development is he has sex with a porn star that's high on crystal meth, and he has his online reputation destroyed because of his porn videos. So the message is that people like Ronnie exist? Yeah, no shit. Well, let's see what the writer and director of this fine film, Rob Lambert, has to say. I didn't set out to make a political film, and I don't like films that are trying to influence me. As a filmmaker, I strive to make presentational films versus propaganda films. However, this subject and film will undoubtedly move and upset a lot of people. From my perspective, we made a movie based on real stories, paralleling real life and the events that play out in real time, month after month. I believe that pulling the curtain back on the root of this anger and confusion is a way to deal with the issues head on. My hope is that our film opens people up to a discourse on what can be done to reach these lost boys before they strike. Alright, Rob, you don't like political movies? I'll buy that. But it's hard to believe that a movie called Cuck, released in 2019 with a poster of a slightly overweight white guy standing in front of the American flag, wasn't specifically created to provoke a reaction out of people. This movie is frustratingly apolitical in all of the areas it shouldn't be. Donald Trump is never directly referenced by Ronnie or his conservative commentator idol. He's only shown in caricature form and referred to as our president.
Our president will be down in Anaheim.
His name only appears on signs. The movie only once seems to directly condemn Ronnie's viewpoints in a scene where he says the words cuck and pussy to his liberal college student Tinder date.
I mean, most guys in college today are cucks anyway, you know?
They're what?
Cuck. You know, cuck like a pussy. I mean, you like real men, right? Admit it, all chicks do.
Chicks?
What, nothing is untrue. What I said. You really think that you're gonna support yourself with this bullshit arts degree? Coffee. I bought you this. Here. No, look. You think you're better than me? Is that the
She said let go!
But even this scene comes off as pandering and lowest common denominator. Let's compare this movie to another movie that came out in 2019, Parasite. Parasite is an incredibly political film touching on ideas of classism, economic inequality, and the dehumanization of poor people. However, its ideas are presented in such a way that even if you disagree with the message of the film, you can still enjoy it. I mean, come on, if Elon Musk can say that it was his favorite movie of the year, it shows that the movie can still be enjoyed even if the thesis flies directly over your head. And a lot of that comes down to the way the film treats the subject matter. It's pretty clear to the average viewer that the Park family, specifically Mr. Park, is the antagonist of the film. However, despite the fact that we're supposed to root against them and for the Kim family, Bong Joon-ho still presents these characters as human and likable for a good majority of the film, at least on the outside. Mr. Park is shown to be a loving father, and Mrs. Park is shown to care deeply for her family. It sets this up so when the conflict of Mr. Park looking down on Mr. Kim for his poor smell is presented, it makes you empathize with the Kim family's struggles. You're sent this journey with the Kim family from the beginning, and even though they commit many crimes throughout the film, you root for them because they're likable and most of us can relate to being the underdog. Meanwhile, in Cuck, Ronnie is shown to be racist, violent, even completely unstable at times. We're given no reason to root for Ronnie, we've got no reason to pity him, and we have no other character to root for. No one watching this movie is going to change their mind about any of these incredibly touchy political issues, such as white supremacism or inceldom, by watching this movie. Either you'll come out the other end thinking that Ronnie's actions were deplorable, or you'll see it as a gross mischaracterization of American conservative ideals. And it's not like you can't make a movie about a character that's morally disagreeable. American History X, Taxi Driver, hell, even Joker handled this topic 100 times better than Cuck, because all of these movies give extensive care to the reasons why these people are the way they are. Cuck tries to force in a weird explanation in the last seconds of the film, and it comes off as just them realizing they wrote themselves into a hole. We've been in the crossroads in America, and specifically on YouTube, for a long time. In case you haven't noticed, conservative ideology has found a comfortable home on this platform, with channels such as PragerU, Ben Shapiro, Turning Point USA, and StevenCrowder, among others, appealing to young and impressionable people and instilling many hateful and harmful values into them. This is a big issue, one that we will see the effects of for many years going into the future, and it needs to be talked about, but not like this.
It's always nice to have a famous person on board whenever possible.
Well, at this point, I don't know if I'm famous. Probably infamous online a little bit, but not for all the right reasons.
I haven't even got to talk about the movie itself being bad. Like, the acting it sometimes is so over the top that it would be funny if it wasn't for the fact that this movie is trying to take itself seriously.
Hey, you! You trash!
I'm sorry, what?
You nasty grifter whore!
What is wrong with you?
What did he pay you for?
Calm the fuck down, lady.
What did he pay you for?
I don't know what you're talking about.
My son, Ronnie! What did he pay you for? What did he pay you for? You nasty whore! Ronnie! Come back to me! Ronnie!
Director of this film is watching this, so I want you to know that I wasn't going into this movie expecting a commentary on the level of Haine or Salò, but I do think the subject matter could have been handled in a much more mature way. All the stuff about Ronnie's porn career and the 7 or 8 scenes where he jerks off for 30 seconds could have been cut to possibly explore some of the nuances of this issue, but no. What we got was a movie that will forever be remembered as a liberal hit piece by conservatives and a shitty, insufferably unfocused softcore porn by liberals. This movie appeals to no one. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around till the end. If you liked the video, please subscribe and hit the notification button because I'm probably going to be making a lot more videos soon. Probably going to be a lot of varied topics. I'm into a lot of different things like music and video games. Probably make a lot of different types of videos on this channel. But I just wanted to talk about this movie, so yeah, there you go. I don't have any other videos to show you right now, so yeah. Thanks for watching.